Hi everyone. Um, what did you learn? What was the most informative and interesting to you personally? First off, I would like to say I think it takes a very special person to work at a mortuary or anything like that. I think it'd be extremely difficult to um, prepare the body for a funeral, or I wouldn't be able to do it. The video was pretty informative about everything, caskets, the funeral process, and preparing the body, what takes place, the cremation process, the different rooms that the funeral home has, like where the family hangs out before the funeral and after sometimes. In the video, there was a person whose dad was diagnosed with cancer late, and he said during his father's illness, he didn't really talk a lot. But as his condition kind of started to deteriorate, his dad started making comments like, he's not afraid of death, he's ready, he's tired of the illness. And I think that goes back to some of our lectures. We talked about how, and even in our book, we have about how when before people die, they kind of give a sign or they say things like, I'm ready. And that person also mentioned how when his dad was diagnosed and up to his death, he was dressed in loungewear and sweats. And at the funeral, he got to see him in a coat and tie. And he said that seeing him looking good and normal helped him with kind of not like accepting that his dad passed away, but that he is going to a better place. It kind of gives them like reassurance. And another part of the video, a man mentioned that you can imagine seeing your loved one dead, but to see them dead for the first time and experience it is an entirely different thing. I paused the video after that and thought about it. I don't think there's any amount of planning that can prepare you to see your loved one dead for the first time. That I don't think that's anything anyone will ever be prepared for. I'm sure it's difficult. Overall, the video was informative about everything regarding the process after death has happened, and something I found interesting throughout the whole video and each different situation with each different family. They all said that seeing their loved one in the casket or being lowered into the ground, it made them realize that the death was real and that there's no turning back. And it kind of reminded me how I feel at funerals, or how I felt, I should say. What part seemed most confusing or left you with questions? There wasn't really anything that left me confused. The video pretty much covered everything regarding funerals and how you prepare the body for death. The video went into detail about the embalming process, which I thought was kind of interesting because we've been talking about it in lecture, but to actually see it, it kind of made me realize what was actually happening. And the video also went into good detail about the cremation process. It showed the rooms where it happens, what the body looks like afterwards, and I thought that was pretty interesting because I didn't really know how the cremation process worked. Did the documentary bring out any emotions for you, and why? In the beginning, it started out showing bodies being prepared for a funeral, and I was kind of uncomfortable at first because I wasn't expecting to see that right away at like that early in the video. But after that, I was fine. I prepared myself for what I would probably be seeing. In the video, there was a little boy named Anthony. He was a baby. He was born too early and had heart and brain problems. His dad said a family member asked why Anthony wasn't ever hungry and asked why he never ate, and The dad said he responded with because he's dying. That was really sad and hard to listen and watch. I can't imagine having to prepare your child's funeral. That was pretty sad. His mom said that they started planning the funeral because it was like a survival mechanism. She said that planning for his funeral gave them steps for when they actually do lose Anthony. How might this information help you better relate to patients and families in your future as a healthcare professional? This information can help me better relate to patients and families in my future health career because this video shows you the other side. It shows you like different situations and how different families react to what's happening, and it gives you an insight. And while it's extremely hard to prepare for funerals before the death happens, I think having the steps relieves stress from the family because when someone dies, it's stressful, and then having to plan out when the funeral will be, what kind of casket they have, like that is just stress that could be avoided. So having plans for situations like this takes away the additional stress, and there's a plan to follow and allows families to grieve instead of plan. So overall, I believe that this video was really informative, and I think a lot of people should watch it just so they can realize how important it is to have plans. And yeah, thank you for listening.